We've just come back from a really exciting shopping trip and I couldn't wait to show you guys what I've just bought. Hi, welcome to the Mammoth Tech Show. I'm Frankie and today we are going to be unboxing my brand new Dyson Supersonic hairdryer. I am so excited that I've actually got my hands on one of these. So let's get on with the unboxing. So as you can tell, it comes in this rather plain and boring looking cardboard box. I'm hoping that the inside packaging is going to be a little bit more exciting. Jeff has let me loose with a sharp knife to get this open. I'm a little bit nervous, as obviously it's a £300 hairdryer and I don't want to damage it. So that's enough from me. I'm going to crack on with carefully unboxing my hairdryer. Let's do this. And here we go. This is the box that it comes in. So let's get on with getting some of this shrink wrap off and actually having a look at the hairdryer itself. So now we've got the shrink wrap off, and then we've got another box and we're just going to lift the lid from here and put that carefully down to one side. So we've got some nice foamy bits in the lid, and then we've got our hairdryer all nicely packaged. So I'll just explain a bit more about the hairdryer before we take a closer look at it. You can get it in a couple of different colourways. The most common are silver and white. The one I've chosen is the grey pink option, which Dyson have decided to call iron and fuchsia for reasons unknown to myself, because it's grey and pink basically. So I must say it is really nice to actually have my hands on my very own one of these. I fiddled about with a few of them in the shops, but as I've previously stated, I'm really excited to have my very own. So one of the unique things about the hairdryer is the way that the attachments fit onto the flat nozzle, and that's because they fit on with magnets. So I'm just going to pick up one of the styling nozzles here. You can get it close up and it just slips on. And then it's a really strong magnet and you can just pull it off. So it clips on like that, you pull it off like that. And that's how all of the attachments fit on and off. You should never use the hairdryer without the attachments. It's another thing to mention, although it looks like you can. And then moving on to the buttons at the back. So it's very simple. We've got 4 buttons. This button here controls the 3 heat settings of the hairdryer, and you can tell which setting you've got because it will light up on here with LED lights. This button here is your speed settings, and again you've got 3 levels of speed, which will again light up with LED lights. This slider switch here is your on-off switch, and this button down here is your cold shot for when you want to set your styles in. So that's enough talking about it. I can't wait to have a go with it.
So Frankie, you've had a go with your new Dyson. How super is the Supersonic?
For me personally, I would say it is very super indeed. The first thing I noticed was how nicely balanced it is compared to my old hairdryer. That's due to the motor being in the handle rather than whacked on the back where they normally are. So that means that it's more ergonomic when you want to do styling. You can hold it up here. It's a lot more lightweight as well. So yeah, I can hold it up for longer periods, and I can also use it in my left hand for styling, which was really useful.
But the principal reason you got that was speed, because you've got quite thick, long hair.
I've got very thick, long hair.
How long did it used to take you to dry your hair from, wet?
Well, I never used to get it from wet to fully dry with my old hairdryer for the pure reason that after half an hour I would just get plain bored.
Or you'd towel dry it a bit?
I'd towel dry it a bit first. I'd normally leave it up in the towel for about 20 minutes. Then I would basically whack it with a hairdryer for about 25-30 minutes. That still wouldn't have it dry. And by that point my arms were aching and I was just bored. So I'd just leave it at that and let the rest dry naturally.
So how does the Supersonic fare?
Dried it from completely soaking wet to completely dry in 13 minutes. 3 minutes. So it cut my drying time more than in half, I would say.
That's good.
Yeah, so I am really, really impressed. So for me, personally, just that fact alone, it was worth the money because it's given me 20 minutes of my life back a week that I can be spent doing something else. 40 minutes because I didn't even have to leave it in a towel for 20 minutes before drying it.
So I suppose you're thinking about a hairdryer, and why should you buy a hairdryer for £300 when you could buy one for, say, £30? You're not really buying it to dry your hair. What you're buying is time.
For me, yes.
Yeah.
And I think, everybody is probably by now, if you're interested in the Supersonic, you've heard the sales speak, you've heard that, it's lightweight, it's well balanced because the motor's in the handle, it uses less heat so it doesn't frazzle your hair and this, that and the other. And yes, one of the sales things is that it cuts your drying time. And I was a little bit dubious as to whether that would be the case because on all the models that you see, they've either got short, thick hair or long, fine hair. They never show it with long, thick hair. To put it in perspective, because it is difficult to see how much hair I've got, but when I've been to the hairdressers in the past, I've had 2 of them going at me, one on each side, to get my hair dry in the appointment time. So to be able to have a machine at home that uses less power and less heat than a conventional hairdryer but can dry it in half the time, it's a worthwhile investment for me.
So you can now dry your hair faster than 2 people
at the hairdressers.
And the hairdresser can dry your hair.
Yes. And I know for a fact that when I go to the hairdressers again in a couple of weeks, she'll be wanting to play with this because she's told me. So I'm going to have to take it with me so that she can have a play. So, yeah, for me, well worth the investment.
What attachments have you tried so far?
I've only tried the smoothing nozzle, which was the wider of the 2 flatter nozzles.
What was the other one called?
A concentrator nozzle.
Yes.
So that's for if you want more precise styling. So if I was to get my clips and section my hair up to dry like the underneath, to dry the underneath bit and then do all the top bits. I guess if I wanted to get it super straight without using my straighteners, then you'd use the concentrator nozzle. You can spend a bit more time doing it.
Right.
But yeah, I just used the smoothing nozzle. And I used it on medium speed and medium heat.
So that 13 minutes was on medium, not maximum? Not
maximum on either setting.
All right.
I did try it. I started off on the low setting, and I have to admit, with my hair, it didn't do a lot of cop. So I had to up it on both. But it certainly wasn't max. So if I want to get it done even faster, I could put it on max on both.
You could possibly even get it under 10 minutes.
Under 10 minutes, possibly. And I was styling with a brush, admittedly. I wasn't just doing it with my hands because I bought a nice detangling brush as well. So I was blow drying it through with a brush, which obviously separates it a bit more and lets the air flow through it a bit more. So yeah, if you wanted to, I've still got that extra setting that I can use on both. Yeah,
you've got somewhere to go.
I've got somewhere to go.
So it dries your hair faster, but does it do as good a job?
I would say it does a better job. To me, it feels a lot smoother, a lot softer, and it looks like it has more of a shine on it. It doesn't frizz up at the roots as much as it used to, and I think that's down to the fact that I can get it completely dry with the hairdryer, because then you seal off the cuticles at the root, which is what causes the frizz, apparently.
Right.
So if you leave it to dry naturally, you generally get more frizz, I think. But yeah, I've got less frizz, and it seems to be a lot softer, and it seems to have more of a shine on it. So yes.
And your conclusions?
My conclusion is that if speed is what you're after to quicken up your drying time, then this is definitely worth the investment, because as I've proven, with thick, long hair, it definitely cuts down your drying time.
Yeah, that's good.
I think do your research, and you'll know if it's something that you think is going to be a worthwhile investment for you. But I now wouldn't be without it. So if you have any questions about the Dyson Supersonic, then pop them into the comments below. If you've liked this video, give us a like. If you'd like to see more of the Mammoth Tech Show, then hit that subscribe button. I've been Frankie.
I've been Jeff, and you've been very kind to watch. Thank you very much.